Another week of no drama in the Doctor Who community. No one's worried about the show being cancelled. No one's worried about Shooty leaving. Everything's happy and dandy.
One normal day on Twitter is all I want. That's all I want. And do I get it? Do I buggery?
Never, mate. You're never getting that.
Do I buggery?
Who do you think we are? We're Doctor Who fans, mate.
Yes.
We're constantly living in fear of cancellation.
Yeah, it's a weird forum, I guess. It is a you get fandoms on like Twitter and stuff, and I've never really. I think the Doctor Who one is definitely unique and not in like a great way a lot of the time. It's like it's just interesting.
It's unusual.
I find it a bit negative, and
mate, just Suki Lala out there.
There's so many there are some opinions I've read that I actually like, and I'm not naming names or anything, but there's just some stuff I see. I'm just like, can you just stop talking? I'm so over hearing about this bullshit. Like what's that saying? It's like what'll be will be.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
A woof, a wooga.
I would press the soundbite, but I'm a bit far from the soundboard today.
Nothing really that we can. I think whatever's going to happen is already going to happen, okay? And there's nothing we can really do about it.
That's it. Preach it, sister. Amen. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that kind of thing. We don't want to go too deep. Everyone's talked about it and things, but we will touch on it a little bit.
We have bad things to talk about, like Planet of the U, which I actually am genuinely really interested to talk to you about.
Yeah, baby. And that's where we're going to go after we've done this, which is going to be super awesome.
Planet of the Woo.
Yeah, Planet of the Wood.
More like.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram @50Doctor, on TikTok @50Doctor Who. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the other side of the sting.
50% pop cat.
And we're back.
I don't know why this... Why has this moved so far away from me, this soundboard? This is a mess.
Earthquake or something happened?
Mate,
something moved?
Yeah, the fucking Doctor Who community exploded.
Something's going on here. I don't know what happens in the week that I'm not here. Stuff could be moved and changed, and I'm like,
I fuck around and find out in here.
It's a brand new area.
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, so the other day,
yes,
the Sun,
yes,
the paper, not the thing that we rely on as a life source.
Okay, yeah.
Because trust me, we don't rely on this for anything.
Right.
The Sun reported that Doctor Who is probably going to be cancelled because of bad ratings and because of woke storylines. I made a
not
TikTok.
Those dang woke storylines.
God damn, those woke ass storylines.
Yeah.
Because nothing's woke anymore.
Yep.
It's
woke,
sorry, everything's woke.
I hate that saying so fucking much.
Yeah, just shut up, Anyways, I did a TikTok where I debunked the shit out of this thing, and I think, like I said, the Sun, you can't rely on them for anything, so I would not take this seriously. There's even facts that they say in there that have been proven wrong. And these guys also said that Jodie Whittaker wasn't going to get a regeneration story because the bad ratings were going to result in that, things like that. These
That's
are
so silly though.
the biggest drama queens.
That wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, exactly. So, just a bit of nonsense. I wouldn't take it too seriously. It's just a shame how glorified it got. I even saw, I won't say because we have a good relationship with them, but one of a Blu-ray retailer did a news post about it.
Right.
And I was like, why?
Don't. A lot of big, even the project, I sent it in the group chat.
Yeah, which is an Australian talk show.
They were talking about it, and I was like, what?
I hate how glorified and huge this got based on total fictitious things. But hey, what I think is maybe a little bit slightly more likely that we should talk about is that there is rumors. So there's reshoots going on at the moment for the new series. We know that, okay? And apparently all the people involved in the finale are the people involved in the reshoots. So it's reshooting the finale. And apparently it's been a fairly substantial amount of reshoots. It's not been a couple of days. It's been more like a couple of weeks, I believe. And everyone, once again, is hitting panic buttons because they're like, reshoots? This is like the Zack Snyder Justice League all over again.
Rogue One type shit.
Yeah. And I think maybe they're reshooting things for a good reason. That happens all the time. And hey, maybe. We all know that Russell here ain't all that great with finales. Maybe Disney was like, hey, that last finale you did,
yeah,
bit of a stinker.
People didn't like it.
People didn't like that one. So we've had a look over the finale again. There's new finale. And we think it's also a bit of a stinker. So here's how we'll do it.
Do some reshoots, baby.
Because I don't know who I trust more to do a finale, Russell T Davies or Disney. They both don't give me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
Russell will give you the emotion, but maybe Disney can make a fucking coherent story.
Right.
But then again, Rise of Skywalker is a thing, and that is not that coherent.
Yeah.
Somehow Palpatine has returned. Somehow the 14th Doctor has returned.
Well, that is also something else I saw today, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Here we are again. Groundhog Day, baby.
I guess where I was going with this that I want your opinion on is that the most popular thing and something that's making more headlines as well is that the reshoots are making the finale more of a shooty farewell story and that he may regenerate at the end of the story. Once again, there is no evidence on this at all. So don't stress. But I would love to know people's opinions on this, and I want to start with you, Connor.
Thank you very much, Shane. I think apart from all the obviously awful shit that they're spraying the sun, which goes without saying, I don't agree with and you don't agree with. I would say I do think, unfortunately, if you ask my opinion, there is at least a little bit of truth to some of the stuff that they're saying as regards to the show underperforming. And I also heard that there was disgruntled crew who I think was maybe told that they won't be coming back for a while.
Well, this is what the Sun says.
Indefinitely, basically. Yes.
Which I think is false.
Maybe. I think, unfortunately, look, I'm a pessimist, okay, with everything in my life, okay? Wish I wasn't, but I am. And I don't know if I believe it's all sunshine and roses. Look, I am a tad bit confused with this whole reshoots thing about Shooty. It's like, so what are we implying here? Are we implying that it's an open-ended regeneration and then what, the show isn't coming back for a series 3, and then eventually when it does come back, maybe say like 5 or 10 years down the line, there will be like almost like a Sylvester McCoy in the TV movie, and Shooty would be in it for the first like.
No, I don't think that's happening.
So what do you think it means by open-ended regeneration?
Well, I think anyone that thinks that they know that there's an open-ended regeneration is just making stuff up, because I don't think anyone would know that that's happening.
Right.
And I think, because I just read all this stuff from a BBC insider on The Sun, I just think is complete bullshit, which that stems from. It's a quote from a BBC insider. What fucking BBC insider is going, the crew aren't very happy. They've been told that the show is going to be axed for 5 to 10 years. You wouldn't even tell your crew that.
Right. Yeah, no. I think there is maybe a little bit of truth in there. I don't think this deal has gone like well at all.
It'll be fine.
It just seems like maybe the best thing for it right now is to, and I don't want this, but it's like, you know, maybe it's just best for it to have a bit of a break, like off the air. I want Doctor Who every year. Russell promised us Doctor Who every year.
Yeah, but he can't. Like, I don't know why people are mad about that, because there's not a lot he can do.
Because that's his job. Like, he's supposed he's supposed to come in and make good TV and make sure the shit runs well. But like,
he's not funding it out of his own pocket. Do you know what I mean? He can't make Disney.
I know that.
He's done everything he can. He's got scripts ready for season 3. He's done everything he can without actually making it, because they're waiting on Disney. And that's on Disney. It's nothing to do with Russell. If anything, I feel bad for Russell, because he's promised this stuff, and I think he did have his sights set on achieving that stuff. But I just think the way the deal has worked out, it has not allowed that to come into fruition.
Yeah, look, I don't know if I could fully agree with that. I think that Russell, like, I think Russell didn't hire people that could actually like have an honest conversation with him, because there's just so many things that have happened that it's like I'm not watching the same person that I grew up loving, like my idol, and I don't understand how, and it seems like the consensus is like everyone is pretty much feeling that way.
I completely disagree.
Really?
I think there's dramatic voices out there talking like that.
Sure, but like even if like I don't know, it's like I'm listening to like Mad Men today, and it's like, you know, these are good people who are just fans and like, you know, just want the best for it. I just think that whatever it was or is just not working. I'm not against there being like a series 3, but you know, it's like what Snares tweeted the other day, and I agree, and I've been saying this for ages now. Like, it's not our job to promote the show, and you know, it's like,
well, then don't.
I'm so like uninterested and unexcited for like series 2. I hate to say it, and I look. I can only come on here and just say like my opinion, and that's just how I feel. I still love it, and I will watch it at the first chance I can with Doctor Who. I always do. I only want the best for it, and look, as for the whole like woke ass storylines, like I agree. Like there is like, just in the world that we live in now, like that is fueling like an incredibly like toxic and negative like group of people who are just fueled by that hatred, you know, and that's just not at all what I like to. I mean, that's not at all what it's just it's shit. Like, it's a shit situation.
Yeah, I think they're just a loud group, which is, it just makes things a bit worse.
Sure, that stuff is always unfortunately like, you know, the loudest. But yeah, I don't know. Just a word I would just use is just exhausting. Like, you know, we were saying in the car just saying like, I just want to watch Doctor Who every year. I don't want it to be all this shit.
Yeah, but I think this is what I mean by everyone's so dramatic, because we keep having the same conversations every year.
I am dramatic, I admit that.
I think it's, yeah, I agree. I think it is being very dramatic, the whole like, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's fine. We got a whole new season and a spin-off still to come out. Someone, I love, like, there was the BBC's response to this thing was like, motherfucker, these guys ordered 26 episodes. We've only released half of them so far.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, what the fuck?
Phone going off.
What are you complaining about, you know?
My dad calls me even though I say I'm going out. Yeah, look, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative. I just, you know, I think like if like, you know, I can't sugarcoat something when I feel like I'm not feeling that way, and I think people would know if I was just saying some shit that, you know, hasn't stacked up with how I've been feeling, and you know, it's just been like super negative, to be honest, and it's just
what's the point of being alive?
Yeah, exactly. It puts me down. It makes me feel like shit, and you know, yeah, it's not my job to you know get excited for the show. It's like, this is what it's supposed to. They're supposed to do that, and look, I'm trying hard to get into series 2. I'm sure once it comes out, which apparently is supposed to be in like a month and a bit, I'll be very excited. You know, you never know. But
I'm super excited.
That's great. That's great. I wish I was, man. I really do. Like, I genuinely do. Like, I wish I was, but
let's move on.
Sorry.
This is the fun show.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, you never fucking know the answer when it's important.
Me when I'm asking for where's the series 3 news.
Just staying, yeah.
But yeah, to close out, I think there's a world where Shooty leaves the show, but the show continues with season 3, maybe without Disney's budget. I think Shooty's been fucked around a little bit because he clearly signed on to maybe shoot and maybe do 3 or 4 seasons and be done. But in that time, we've only done like 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean? And like,
right.
Like, I think he would have thought that season 3 filming would be underway by now.
Do you think yeah, no, I agree. Do you think that it will be a bit of like a Eccleston, like from McGann to Eccleston kind of thing, where like the regeneration is just maybe not ever seen?
No, I think it will.
For now.
I think it will. There's nothing to say that it won't happen.
But what if but how can you add a regeneration at the end of an episode that isn't planned to be originally a regen episode? Like, I don't...
Because they're reshooting parts of the episode.
Like, full on, like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not shooting a day. But it's like, everyone was like saying how Jodie's regen was going to be open-ended. And then they decided to throw on the David regen. So, like, it's fine. Everyone, shut the fuck up. You don't know how fucking film and TV works.
Do you think David Tennant's coming back?
You know, I did see something that was like, maybe Doctor Who will become just specials for a little bit whilst the BBC figures itself out, which I don't mind. I don't hate that. And then in that, they said maybe it'll be David Tennant for the specials. And I sort of thought, you know what? Don't give a fuck. I'm fine with that.
Like, I kind of had to. I mean, he is there.
He's like, you know, The BBC for so long made like great shows that would run for like 3 or 4 seasons, and then they'd have like a Christmas special every year. Only Fools and Horses turned into Christmas specials for like the last 15 years of its existence after the 7 series of the show ended.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't care if, because they don't want Doctor Who to disappear from relevancy. Like it's such a big part of the money that they make. But maybe it does need to take a break of being on. But even then, I feel like we've always got breaks in Doctor Who, so I don't really know what I want. But I think a worst case scenario for me, the best of a worst case scenario would be that we get like 1 special a year. I don't really want it to be a Christmas special every year. It can come out in December, but like maybe it doesn't be Christmassy. Like maybe it's just like a big action, exciting adventure. And if it's with David for 3 or 4, so be it.
Okay, I'd love that.
Like it'll get people watching.
Yeah, no. Well, look, that's the thing. It's like if they could do something like they've commissioned 5 specials like they did with Tennant's like final 5 specials, like 2 Christmas specials and technically like 3 if you count the 2-parter. Have an episode come out at Easter, episode come out like during like the winter in the UK. Do Christmas, New Year's. Like I'm so sorry, my phone keeps going off.
So desperate.
I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
And David, his doctor is there.
Yeah, exactly. He's hanging out.
So
he like would sort of low-key make sense for 15 to like bi-generate into David again at the end.
Sure.
And then he's like, oh, me again.
Sure.
That
would be
more me.
Could you imagine seeing that? I would just be like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do? I just cop it, you know?
What are you going to do?
Like, yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Like, and because I don't think it's doom and gloom. I don't think Doctor Who's going to die in a fucking hole. Like, look, I've almost finished reading. I want to say it's written by a guy called Paul Hayes, maybe. His book called The Long Game, which is like a biographical book about Doctor Who between the TV movie and Rose and all the attempts of bringing it back, all the different like media things, the Scream of the Shower animation, the origin of the audio dramas, things like that. And it's like, man, even if Doctor Who was not on TV for 6 or 7 years, it would be around. We'd probably still be getting animations and like collection sets, things that will keep us talking, you know? So, but the thing is, I don't think Doctor Who is going anywhere. I think there might be a gap between season 2 and 3 because of all this stuff. Once they figured out if they're going ahead with Disney or whether it's going back to the BBC and maybe another streaming provider, I think there will be a gap there. But I think it'll be fine.
Honestly, I don't think it is going to be cancelled.
Yeah. Well, why are we so sukilala?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's all right then.
I don't know. I mean, but like, I don't think it would be cancelled. Whether that's the right idea or not, I'm yet to see that. But
I don't want Doctor Who to be cancelled.
I don't want it to be cancelled either. I want to make that very, very clear.
Everyone's always been like, maybe Doctor Who needs a break. And I'm always like,
maybe it doesn't need a break.
Why do you want it to have a break? I love this show so much. I'm so hopeful about it all the time.
Look,
I don't want it to be not on air.
No, yeah, sure. And look, you think I ain't like licking my lips for maybe like a 73 yards in series 2? Of course I am.
Nom.
Generally, like, I mean, like, I can't look at this whole era as like a mistake because, you know,
there's bangers.
There's 2 episodes in there,
and
maybe 3,
elite.
Where I think it is probably in like maybe my top 5, definitely top 10. So there's that, and they're both written by Russell.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like it's so fine. It's so fine. Like it really is. And yeah, let's all just be happy.
So can you quote? It's not Jova.
It's not Jova.
It's not Jova.
If anything, it's John.
It's John.
It's on.
Who's John?
It's John.
It's John.
Yeah,
it's John.
Because
it's so Jova.
This is only season 2, bitch. There's so many more seasons to come. You fucking know it. And if I just bored Connor, he was just on his phone.
I'm not. I'm getting a fucking phone call every like 30 seconds.
Do not disturb.
I do not apologize.
Throw it in the bin.
I do not apologize.
But yeah, let's get excited. Season 2, Shruti Gatwa, Verada Sethu. It's gonna be amazing. Russell T Davies, who everyone loves.
You don't need a marketing team when you got Aidan Green on the 50% Doctor Who. Ever since you've been in Doctor Who magazine, you fucking sold out, bro.
I'm so I have no opinion. No, but I also I think I just don't take things that seriously. Like it's a fucking TV show.
That's great it's great to be you.
And
I can't do that.
And I also just think like the facts are there that it makes the BBC a lot of money. So I'm really not that stressed about it. Yeah. Yeah. And I think as well, what I don't mind is, even though I don't love a lot of the episodes in season 1, like I love some of them and I like some of them, and there's a few that I don't like a lot at all. But I think I've never, once series 10 ended, whenever a new series came out, when I'm talking about the Chibnall era here, which I don't hate, but I never felt the urge to rewatch it. Whereas like through the 60th and season 1, something has ignited within me that makes me want to rewatch these new episodes. Whereas I thought it was like I was just getting older and I don't see as much rewatch value in things now because I don't have that. Like when you're a kid, you watch the same movie like 200 times, right? But then when you're an adult, you don't really do that. If you see your new favorite movie at the cinema, you might watch it a couple, maybe 2 or 3 times at the cinema if you're really keen on it. And then a few times on streaming maybe. And then it will turn into like a once a year or once every couple of years watch, you know.
I bought Better Man.
I'm going to buy the Blu-ray Better Man.
I got the streaming version.
This guy.
Well, what else
Mine'll be better, man.
What else? Yeah, well, it will because there's none of that lagging ass streaming.
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly.
But no, I know what you mean. But also, like, I think if we watched Rose 2005 as 26-year-olds, do you really think that you would like it as much as we? Well, not even like, love.
Shit.
Exactly.
Shit.
So, you know,
it's not even Rose. It's like fucking farting aliens in Parliament.
Oh, I know.
I'd be like, what
Well,
are you
that's the
on?
thing.
But you know what? I fucking love it. Eat that shit up. Nom nom nom.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, there is that. And
give me that farty green boy. Yeah. I got weird, really
far
weird. Sorry,
out.
let's move on.
Holy macaroni. But also, I think, like, you know, I certainly, as someone who, like, sort of despised the Chibnall era, you know, now looks back at it as with much more of a nicer light. Which is exactly, I think, what's going to happen with RTD2, which is exactly what happens every single time.
Yeah, Moffat, we were suckered with Moffat.
100%.
And we were worried of it being cancelled with Moffat.
Yeah.
When Capaldi came in and it was so controversial and some people started to fall off, we were like, oh no. Oh, dearie me, no.
Well, people did fall off, but...
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it went on to do 3 seasons with PCAP, 3 seasons with Jodie, have a reboot with
2
Disney.
series with Shudigawa.
2 series with Shudigawa. And we're still having the same conversation literally over a decade later. So...
But also, playing the Doctor is such a unique... It's like playing James Bond. Like, it's such a unique...
I feel like James Bond's a
culture.
little bit cooler than
Like-
Doctor Who.
I just mean through relevance, not
Sure.
through sex appeal.
I also think James Bond is a bit more relevant than Doctor Who. As in, like, how many people...
Maybe.
If Doctor Who put out a movie, how many people are going to watch the Doctor Who movie versus the new James Bond movie?
But it's like, you know, but people know... People would know what... You don't go to someone like, oh, James Bond, they go, who? Like, if people know Doctor Who...
Okay,
Like,
if you're talking
it's
about
such
name
a-
relevance, yeah,
it's
I get
like
it.
it's such an iconic role.
Yeah.
that I don't see why Shooty would be in a rush to leave.
No, it just depends where he wants to take his career.
For sure. No, that's definitely true. I would be sad if he didn't get to do like a final series, because he would have shot series 2 not knowing that it would have been his last. And,
Yeah, I agree.
But maybe with these specials, I'm talking like it's going to happen. These specials that we just spoke about.
I don't think this
definitely
special thing
happening.
is going to happen, by the way, but that's
I
just
don't know,
an
but
idea.
well, even if like series 3 has like a new Doctor, like, you know, we can. There's maybe a way to tie it in that's satisfying and interesting. And
Yeah, I've always wanted a 2-series Doctor as well to break
Well,
the
you might
cycle
be
of
getting
3
it.
series. thing.
Well, didn't Colin do 2?
Yeah, and New Who, because New Who's when
Oh,
it
New
really
Who.
got like 3 seasons, 3 seasons, 3
Yeah.
seasons.
Bro, I'm so dumb. I remember thinking, I was like, maybe he'll be like, he'll break the 3 series rule.
I thought he was going to do 4.
Technically, he did,
and he might.
Or maybe
he might do 4.
He might do 4. He might do 2.
Yeah,
you never know.
Who knows? Yeah, but don't, for the love of God, if you want to stay on for one more Shooty, don't. 2 or 4. That's all I'm giving you, buddy.
Shit, you don't want a third?
Nah, fuck the cycle. Life's a
I
cycle.
kind of wanted to go back to my sweet BBC. You know, it's like,
Well, it's just a bit less dramatic, isn't it?
yeah.
And it stops everyone going on about, oh, Disney make everything so woke.
At least
Shut
with
up.
Jodie's era, they were just making the show. Like,
If anything, Disney now will be trying to make it less woke because of Donald Trump.
It's like it's like let's go away from that depressing topic and talk about slavery and animal cruelty.
So once again, the son's like, why are they tackling these fucking political things? Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Did you know the Ood was a commentary on slavery?
But because David Tennant was the doctor, it doesn't matter.
It was okay.
Because David Tennant and Catherine Tate were the doctor and companion, and people don't care.
I can't handle commentary. So Connor, you dog, today we are revisiting Planet of the Ood, because apparently when we reviewed it back in 2021, I was in a shit mood on that podcast episode and did a shit job at the review.
Did you go back to listen to it?
No, I was planning on it, but then just completely forgot to.
I got like 10 minutes in and stopped.
Did I seem shitty and gross?
The point where I got to was I forgot about this, so we had technical difficulties.
Yeah, that rings true.
So I think we were having Zoom lag and issues with maybe one of our recording sides, and I think it just got to a point where it was like annoying.
Right. Gotcha.
So it's like, let's just get to the end of this shit show, that kind of thing.
Right.
From what I could gather, I didn't I have 3.5 hour episodes of H3 to get through every day, as everybody knows. So,
as
Aiden knows.
Yeah, so we thought, as part of this revisited series, it'll be great to go back and look at some Doctor Who stories that we've already reviewed like almost 5 years ago. And also, the more we talk about David Tennant, the better videos tend to do. So, how good was he at the BAFTAs, by the way? Don't be a David Tennant hater.
Trump jokes are kind of lame. It's just an easy laugh.
Yeah, but I thought they were good jokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't write them. They're like a writing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I felt bad for Mike Hamill when his pants fell down.
That was funny.
That was funny, but I was like, oh man, that's so sad.
Why didn't he just like make a joke out of it? He just kept going. He didn't even acknowledge it.
He's professional.
He was like, just be like, oh, how crazy. I would have just been like, just cop it.
That isn't even funny.
That was bantering.
You and David Tennant talks about Donald Trump.
It wasn't very funny.
Planet of the Ood, baby. This is an episode of Doctor Who that, as we said, we reviewed this back in 2021, in January 2021, I think. And back then, I gave it a 7, you gave it an 8. Mate, that was on episode 37 of this podcast.
Wow.
Do you know what today's episode is?
267?
Close, 274.
Far out.
So like 250 episodes or so later, we're here reviewing the same shit that we reviewed.
Holy moly.
That many episodes ago.
How have we done that many episodes? That is so insane.
Yeah, 300's actually snuck up on me a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Should we just end it?
And that's our show. That's our series. Season finale, baby.
See ya.
What is this? Season 2 of Doctor Who? Okay, Planet of the Ood, buddy boy. It is the 3rd episode of the 4th series of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who, broadcast on BBC One on the 19th of April 2008. It's crazy that I've already done this before on the podcast. Like, I've already read this description and stuff that I'm about to...
How did you read it before? With enthusiasm?
Well, I guess now... No, I would have been angry, apparently. I was so angry on that podcast.
What is this?
I'll try and replicate.
I'm receiving right now.
How's that hostility to you? I'm saying that I was angry on that podcast.
Because I told you were.
Fine, I'll be Mr. fucking Positive.
Be Mr. Nice Guy.
The episode takes place in the year 4126 in the Ood Sphere, the titular planet of the episode. The 10th Doctor and his companion, Donna Noble, investigate Ood operations, a company that is, oh dearie me, selling the Ood as a servant race. Oh no, to discover the reason the Ood are happy to serve. When they find a group of unprocessed Ood, they become horrified, gasp, oh my god, at the alterations performed and resolve to free the Ood. Alright, back to Aiden, who does not give a fuck.
Few odd Oods this episode.
They're not very happy.
Did you rewatch it?
Of course.
Okay, good.
You did.
Yes, I did.
You're not lying. You're not Ice Warriors English.
I only did that one time, and that was the Ice Warriors, and people never forgive me.
I watched it on Monday, and you know what? On Monday, I sat down and I was like, I'm very happy to be watching some David Tennant Doctor Who. Yeah. It felt fucking good. Get the Blu-ray out, put the disc in, the TARDIS in the menu screen comes up, and I was like, oh, this feels like 2021 of the podcast. How good was it when we didn't have to watch Classic Who, and when we were just like once a week, watch Planet of the Ood, and then we'd be, we get to do some Tyrant Stratagem next week, and then we went through like that. Wasn't that fucking great?
Do you want to hear a pessimistic opinion on that?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The reason I stopped listening to the episode was because, which is apparently our worst episode of all time. I'm not sure who said that. Probably Aiden. I was like, oh no, I'm a victim of nostalgia. Okay, you know this. And I've learned that it's not healthy for me. And so I don't like to look back if I don't have to.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, I kind of miss the OG days. It starts with a harmonica. Which is, if you know what that is in the episodes, you're OG.
Are we too like Disney Doctor Who right now? Are we too corporate?
I kind of missed the days where we would go off on like 10-minute rants or just about like random shit. It was fun.
Yeah, and now we
don't.
Because now we think about the algorithm and things like that, and it's.
I don't do that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's. Sorry about that, guys.
I went through ups and downs of doing the YouTube algorithm thing, and I think right now I'm definitely in a better spot with it. But that definitely is a thing. But it just felt safe and warm. But it was the past, and I'm not in the past. I'm in the present. So I was like, nah, I can't do this. It just there was a warm, fuzzy vibe to it, and I was like, be gone, fought.
Be gone,
more like fought. Anyway, that was my long-winded answer to what was the question? I can't remember. Was there even a question?
I don't think it was a question. I think it was just
I was
a tangent.
being pessimistic. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, Planet of the Ood is directed by
Graham Harper.
When his name came up, I was like, nom, 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 nom. I'ma eat this shit. He makes me so hungry for Doctor Who. It's written by Keith Temple.
Silence.
Keith Temple.
Yeah, no, he's cool.
He has also written the Target novel of this, which I own but have not read yet. So I'm keen to get stuck into that. It is, but I'll lick the dust off and it'll be fine.
Ugh, it's mostly dead skin, Yeah,
that's why I want to lick it. Just make me want to eat it more. Okay, so I remember watching this one as a kid, right? And I was like, that shit sucked.
Okay, all right.
What the fuck did I watch?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Snowy Ood, people having long conversations. Man turns into Ood.
It's quite action-packed, though.
Yeah, I think it becomes that. But as a kid, I just was not into this episode.
It's fun as well.
And then it is. And then we reviewed it, and I gave it a 7 out of 10, which I think, in my books, that means it's a pretty good episode when you get a 7.
Aiden's, a 7 is a pass.
No, 5's a pass. 7 is when you're starting to go, okay.
Okay. I don't know Aiden's rating system.
It's very complex algorithms in my head all the time. Numbers.
Yeah, you need to get your head out of the algorithm. Okay?
Yeah.
The Matrix.
You can open me up like a sardine, and it's just like numbers scrolling like the Matrix. Like
fantastic. Thank you for that. Thank you for that vision. Where'd that zip appear from?
I just got one, mate. You don't want to know.
You know how they would just appear when they did the zips? It's like, what the fuck's that mean? It's like in the center of their forehead.
It was great to rewatch this awesome episode of Doctor Who. And I say awesome because... oh boy, I have fun with this shit. I was like, this is a good episode of Doctor Who. That's what I thought the whole way through watching it. What do you think, brother?
Same.
Sick one.
This is a fucking great episode.
Doing Doctor Who.
Do you know what I hate? The problem is, this is the issue, right? We're how many episodes in? 277?
Yeah.
76?
74.
Right.
Maybe.
This is the issue. You start repeating yourself a little bit.
Oh, it happens all the time.
But I'm going to say it again. Ready, folks? He's going to say the line, Connor. This is the most I enjoyed the episode.
That's like how we talk about every episode when we do the rewatch of the pod.
This is the most I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that I say that.
Well, I agree.
I roll my eyes when I bring it up all the time, but it is actually generally, and I think it's a slept-on episode. I don't hear anyone really talking about it. I think it has some really great messaging. It's not cringe messaging either. It hits the points it needs to hit. It leaves questions in your head. I'm sure we'll get more into it, but there are some lines in the episode that I think really stick out to me, and the snowy planet is really cool.
Yeah, great location filming.
I think Donna and the Doctor you're just instantly reminded what an incredible pairing they are.
Yeah.
They're so good together.
And Catherine gets some brilliant emotional
Catherine's
stuff.
fantastic. Like as like a comedy actress, like I mean, she's incredible. Like and you're just instantly reminded why David Tennant is like kind of the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like even though Peter's my favorite, I'm like, oh, David maybe is probably the GOAT. Like he's incredible. Like he's
great.
He's so fucking good.
That scene, we obviously have to talk about that. We're not going to go through the episode like we usually do with reviews, just because we've already spoken about this before. So I guess we just talk about random scenes, stuff that we liked in general. But that the scene in the cage is just an all-time Doctor Who scene. David being like all-knowing and slightly alien, but also human to the fact that you can just tell that he can tell that this is making Donna very emotional. But then obviously the standout in the scene is Donna and her. She says that line where she's like, "You take me away to see." I can't remember the exact line, but she's like, "You take me away to see this. Like this, it's meant to be starships and spaceships and stuff, but I'm looking in the face of slavery."
Yes,
and I love the whole thing of when she makes that analogy of these aliens literally have their brains in their hands, like they have to trust, like they're so vulnerable, and I love that.
Yeah, I agree, and even how the Doctor can't like because you know he makes Donna hear the song, but the Doctor can't turn it off, like because you know he takes it away from Donna so she can't hear it anymore, but he always does hear it. And I think that's also the you know the fury of the Time Lord and the curse of the Time Lord is that you have this burden, even though you might not be emotionally available for it, you have to be. You hear this shit and you see this stuff, and you are a Time Lord, you know, a Lord of Time. Yeah, I generally think there's so many great. It can be read into so well because it's definitely a comment on slavery, obviously, but also I think it's a comment on like just like animal cruelty and stuff. There's even a great line where it's like, you know, Donna's like, when people find out about this, you know, there's going to be like an uproar and stuff, and it's like people do know about this, but they just choose not to think about it. Yeah. And I won't get on my soapbox too much. I'm going to say this once and then I'll move on because I know people can get a bit funny about it. But the reason why I stopped eating meat was because I learned how animals were being treated. And it's like, yeah, people do know about this stuff, but they turn a blind eye to it. And that's just life. But also it's like very sad. There was that line, and there was also, I think, an incredible line, which was
dope.
Oh, well, I do love. I will bring that up. The probably only reference to The Simpsons in Doctor Who, as I'm aware. But the line where Donna says to the Doctor, like, "Don't get angry at me. Like, we don't have slaves. Like I don't have a slave." And then the Doctor says, "Who do you think made your clothes?" Which I think is such a powerful line. And it's like, I mean, what about your phones? Like, you hear awful shit about Apple. Yeah. And it's like...
And things like Temu, those online
my God,
things.
Exactly. It's like, even if you're not trying to support this stuff, it's almost kind of impossible not to.
It's almost impossible to live a normal life.
Exactly. Without supporting that
because
system.
Everything has a footprint. You know, and it all comes back to that at times. And it sucks. And I'm not saying don't do things about it, because we should do things about it. And even if you just change one part of your life, that's goes a long way,
sure.
You know?
No, exactly, yeah.
And so...
Well, how do you question like this like white t-shirt from Kmart? I buy a ton of them for like work and just like I like white t-shirts and they're like $8. So it's like, oh, I'm wearing a t-shirt for $8. Like, why is it so cheap? I think the answer's pretty it's out there.
Not saying that Kmart's involved with slavery. Do not sue us.
Who knows? But you know, it's like you have to question a few things.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
We throw allegedly on, we're fine.
Allegedly.
So all that commentary stuff was amazing. I remember a scene that I remember as a kid being like, what the fuck? The crane, like the claw.
I love that. You know, when I rewatched that today, I was like, I fucking know Aiden hates this scene. I don't know why.
I know. I remember being a kid being like, this sucks ass. And Monday. I watched it and I was like, yeah, boy. David's like bouncing off.
Dude,
the
David's
fucking
so
things.
energetic.
He's so dramatic
dude.
and so funny.
I fucking love it.
He's actually running at like not an extreme pace, just a fast pace, and he turns like a really wide corner, but just has to run into the fucking.
He does like a weird like
jump skip
like
thing.
a roll at one point
Yeah.
as well. It's just it's that
crazy.
scene's awesome.
But I literally cackled when the man operating the crane goes. He says like, "Let's get him," and like just leans forward into the camera, and it's like just so silly.
It is,
and it's such like a dramatic.
It's a human claw
good
machine.
dramatic episode. It's fantastic to have like that real camp old school Doctor Who moment in there.
For sure. Yeah, I love Graham's direction and stuff. That scene's
Yeah, really
awesome. Like I really love that crane, the claw, scene.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome. Like, I've always loved it. I think it's sick. There are some points in the episode where like the CG is like showing its age, but
dude, one of the first shots of the facility,
yeah, it looks terrible.
was rough as fuck.
It was really bad.
Like,
and
real rough.
the rocket ship going past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay. Even some shots in the TARDIS were like, it's like, I don't want to sound like Aiden now, but it's like very fuzzy and it's just so grainy. Like it almost looks like out of focus. It's odd. And then I'm like begging for the 4K release. And I'm like, I wonder how this will look.
It looks good on the Blu-ray. And this episode, I will say, the sound mix was totally fine on the Blu-ray. I was listening. I didn't have to touch the volume once.
And your ears are like, your like blood's coming out your ears. Like, ah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're trying to grab the remote with the sound waves are like pushing you back. It's that loud.
I guess a slight fault of the episode would be that the villain man comes off like pretty like cringe, stereotypical corporate
Jeff
man.
Bezos?
Allegedly.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, when he allegedly does all the actions he does in this episode, I think sometimes he comes off a little bit. Yeah, it's just a little bit. Is it Smithers? Is that the guy from
Mr.
Simpsons?
Burns?
Mr. Burns, yeah.
His assistant Smithers.
Right. Oh, yes.
Nice one,
Smithers.
Aiden.
Yeah,
Close.
that's right. I think he comes off a little bit Mr. Burnsy, not in the creepy way, but just in that like,
Excellent.
I'm a bad guy, and that's all I am.
And I'm losing my hair
I'm a
and I'm
shit bloke.
drinking tonic.
Well, actually, I'm gonna counteract myself here.
Why?
Never have I ever sympathized with a Doctor Who villain more than when that man grabbed clumps from his hair and turned into an ooze.
You don't grab clumps, do you?
No, I don't. No, but
Okay.
I, as we saw on a Crispy Pro short one time, where
That was so mean.
there was a video of me and someone commented, not helping his hairline though.
It's
and you know
not
what?
nice.
It's funny.
I don't like seeing stuff like that. It upsets me.
Well, I mean, like I didn't go, I love life when I read it, but I sort of went, hey, he's got a point.
You got to see the funny side of things, sure, but it's like, why do people have to be so mean?
Yeah, I mean, a prick thing to do,
For sure.
but I don't give a fuck.
You think this guy's perfect? I doubt it.
I don't care who this man is. Yeah, this loser.
I like your hair, Aiden.
I bet he looks gross. I bet he's got fucking neck beard.
Maybe.
Bet he's just shit bloke.
Probably is.
Shit bloke.
Call out that man.
Or you, shit bloke. Stop being a shit bloke.
Yeah, stop being a shit bloke.
This man turns into a fucking ood.
You've
That's
been drinking
like
tonic?
definitely a weird thing.
I love it. I think it's so... Dude, that shit...
The shot.
Okay, that looks very ropey.
Yeah.
Okay, that terrified me when I was a
Really?
young lad. Yeah.
See, when I was a kid, I was like, what is this shit?
Yeah, it terrified
What is this?
me.
Man become ood?
The Ood
Nah.
are kind of creep. Like the Ood is sweet, and it's funny because like the Ood are kind of like when they're calm, they're like they are quite
When they come.
calm. Christ, I guess Ood do, mate. But I lost my thought now.
Just thinking about oods coming.
The fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, when they kind of do look cute when they're calm.
Yeah.
Also, they're very ugly, but they're also like they're sweet and cute. And then the song, and it's like, oh, hello, doctor. It's like they're cute, but when they're evil, they're scary.
I'd like one, not in
And
like
they're
a
gross.
slave. I'd want one as a
Uh-oh.
friend, Like I want a brother ood.
It's funny because like
Brood.
it's like does it like I'm not trying to skip to the end, but it's like I guess like the circle's broken. It's like, but I guess not because Tech Tayun has an Ood. There's an Ood in Pond Life. And the doctor's like, their condition is to serve. And it's like,
yeah.
are they doing it on their own accord? I don't know.
Well, I think the theory that now it's like the OOD are free.
Right, so they can just do what they want.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They're like wildebeest in the snow now.
Right, because I
All
think...
naked and shit.
I think, like, because there's a line in Satan's Pit, well, Impossible Planet, technically, nerd moment, that, like, you know, Rose questions it, and it's like, if you don't give them orders, they go away, they hide away and die. So
they all died.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like, I think they do. I think they are born to serve. I think the issue was this giant corporation took advantage of that and wanted to make a profit.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I think the whole thing of like breaking the circle is like breaking the cycle of you don't even have the option to not serve. It's like they obviously they weren't as like a species doing it for someone to make a profit. They just wanted to do it because that was their calling.
Well, maybe here's I think actually the perfect analogy for this is, remember, like, even only like a decade ago, maybe just over a decade ago, we were still going to pet stores and buying dogs, right? And then it was only maybe just over a decade ago that we found out how like horribly these dogs and things are brought up, and they go through horrible things. And so pet stores, I don't know what it's like globally, but in Australia, they're very out of fashion. Like, you don't really find a dog in a pet store anymore.
Are they even doing that anymore? I haven't been.
No, I think it's really rare. I don't go into them, but
because they would be in those like open windows, and the puppies would be cute because they'd be like, and the kittens and stuff would be like,
tapping on the windows.
Like, oh, you know how cute, and
yeah,
they're almost like on for a show, and it's like,
exactly,
really buy them.
Yeah, so that was, but we've not stopped having pets. You know, like we get pets now through a more ethical way, and dogs that are bred and looked after in a humanely way and looked after like little puppies that they should be until they're old enough for you to take, and we look after them, we love them.
For sure.
Whereas, I feel like that's the thing. Like these dogs were bred for a machine of money, whereas now it's like they're bred, and obviously there's money involved, that's why people do it, but it's a much more loving and nurtured way most of the time. Yeah,
there's definitely like, you know, I have heard some things about like the RSPCA that are a little bit like shady, which is sad to hear. But you know, it's like I think people can and corporations allegedly can always like learn how to be better. But as long as I think you're like your intentions in the right place and you're trying to get better and stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, that was it was taken as advantage of this beautiful species, and it I think is portrayed in such a impactful way. I think it's great. I really enjoyed it. Again, I love like the snowy set and stuff, and you know, there's some fantastic moments from Donna. I guess this kind of starts with Dr. Donna, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a reference to the Dr. Donna.
Yeah, it's kind of the start of it.
The OOD dying in the snow was a bit sad.
I like how Donna talks into the comm. Because she thinks that's how he'll.
Yeah,
so cute.
Maybe we should talk about the. So obviously the main ending is the
big brain
stuff with the brain happens. It's a bit silly, but whatever.
That shot with that guy, the scientist, it looks so fucking bad.
Bit grim, that. But I guess like what I wanted to talk about is your song is ending soon. We got to talk about that. It's a beautiful scene that really meaning. The doctor's about to fucking die.
No, that's what the doctor says.
Oh, right.
Meaning.
Sorry, fake fan me.
Yeah, you just watched it, didn't you?
It feels like kind of melancholic in a way. I don't know. You sort of go
melancholic.
Oh, big word.
Call me fucking dumb, but I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah. Well, never mind.
What's that mean? Melancholic?
Do you want me to
like
get you
melons? Melons? I don't remember there being any melons in.
I don't even. Now I don't even know how to say it.
Not a fan of melons.
Colic.
You know when you eat stuff and it just tastes like water? That's
melancholic. Gross. The feeling or expression of sadness, of pensive sadness.
Just say you're sad. Fucking hell. Are you Shakespeare?
Yeah, I am. Sorry for trying to do a fucking podcast and use words that are not just it good, it bad.
Yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, that's you.
Caveman. It bad.
It bad. Fire. You doing Fires of Pompeii? Fire.
It's sad made me upset.
me being like, it's actually a good commentary on society.
It actually is.
Fire.
Sad. No,
Snow.
that scene is great, and it reminded me of, well, this is what started it, but there's the scene in Survivors of the Vanquishers.
I've seen that episode.
Where, yeah, I hope you have. In Vanquishers, where Swarm's like, Doctor, you are gonna die soon, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it, mate. And then also, you haven't seen this yet, but the Trickster kind of mentions it as well when the Doctor sees him. It's like, and I've seen that you're gonna die. He doesn't say, it's like, you're gonna fucking die soon. The Doctor's like, what do you mean by that? Sorry, that probably was a spoiler.
I'm gonna die.
Anyway, yeah, well, it's like, it's definitely hinted. Yeah, that scene is really great.
Great scene.
And yeah, it's kind of beautiful.
What do you want to give Planet of the Ute out of 10?
I'm gonna give it. What did I give it last time? An 8?
8, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Oh, holy fuck!
You better hear that right, baby. I'm giving it an 8.5. I think it's a really good episode. I'm surprised this Ryan never came back. I'm glad he did a target roller, which I wouldn't actually be opposed to reading.
We'll just cop. Dude, what the fuck? I gave Midnight an 8 back in the day. Am I on cocaine? What the fuck? Anyways, I'm going to give Planet of the Ute an 8.
You on cocaine?
I'm upping it to an 8 because 7 ain't good enough. This motherfucker's an 8.
Really good.
You know what? Fuck you, the Sun. Allegedly. I loved when Doctor Who does commentary and shit like that.
For sure. When it's done well.
Yeah. It does most of the time.
But yeah, I think this is
sometimes.
done. I think this is done really well.
Yeah.
And
it still rings true today, which is
unfortunately,
so
I hate
timeless.
to say it.
Yeah.
It probably always will.
And that's what I mean. It's
And
such
that's
a timeless
sad.
thing to do a commentary on.
But it's sadly the truth.
What are we doing next week?
We are ranking series 2
Oh my God.
from start to finish, baby.
Yeah, baby.
We might be wearing the same clothes.
Mystery. I wonder why that happens and why you know that already.
Sometimes you just gotta let the mystery be.
Yeah, let it be. This is 73 yards. This has been a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing Planet of the Ute.
I did have a lot of fun considering we did talk about a lot of shitty stuff.
Yeah.
But I had fun, Aiden. Thank you.
I had fun.
I always have fun
Yeah.
when I come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like running around in the snow.
Yeah.
You know, like the Udar now. Now they're free.
Oh, that's so cute.
With their
Bless
little
them.
brains, like, oh.
They're so sweet. Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Throwing
but
their
I'll let
brains
it be.
around and shit.
Yeah.
It's like a yo-yo.
Yeah.
With the brain. Oh.
What's that thing where where the ball has it's on a bit of string and it's attached to a pole and you hit it?
Oh, yeah. That thing.
Yeah, it'd be like that. I'm not saying you should do that. Allegedly, I've heard people do that.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Do you reckon they play like ball games with their brains?
Maybe. They're so sweet. Oh, by the way, U Sigma as well comes back. What's so funny? You just forgot a massive part of the plot.
Yeah, no, I just forgot. He's got that Sigma grind set.
Well, Sigma, U Sigma,
He's Sigma, mate.
he says your song's ending soon, and he obviously sees U Sigma at the end of Waters of Mars, and also in End of Time Part 1, not Part 2. It's the end of the show, which means I can crack a nicotine gum.
All right. It's Aiden's. No, okay. He's chewing it into the mic. That's excellent.
You slip it under your lip. No one even knows it's in there.
I can literally hear it from here.
Can you hear it now? No, you can't.
No.
Impossible.
But
Who are you, fucking... what's Daredevil's real name? Matt Murdock.
Yeah, I am Matt Murdock.
Who are you, fucking Matt Murdock?
I am. People, actually, if I put on those glasses, I look like him. I should show you a video.
What, the red
Yeah, I look...
circle glasses?
There's a video of me. When I do my dance moves, it kind of... I look like him.
I have
All
seen
right.
those dance moves, and I don't want to see them again.
I look like Matt Murdock.
Nice.
Yeah.